What up, 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 what up? What up, America? What's going on? It's your boy, Rod and Don. We back again. We getting ready to get into week 5. It's about to be on and popping. It is the Brooklyn Bears Ball and Sports Show. We are here today, and we give a talk about the regular season Super Bowl. Y'all already know, and you already know what's going down. I try to tell Don, and we know why we were kind of like in pre-production. Really, no other game matters. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even care about whoever's playing Sunday. Sunday night is all that matters, and that's all that should matter to you out there as well, all right? Because many of you Cowboy haters, you want to see us lose, and the Cowboy lovers, you want to see us win. So at the end of the day, it's all about the Cowboys anyway. But nevertheless, before we talk about week 5, and we are going to talk about some other matchups as well, we want you to tag, we want you to share, we want you to like, we want you to do all the good things there on Facebook, on YouTube. We appreciate all the support, y'all. For real, I mean, we've been really doing good and getting a lot of interest there on the show, and so we appreciate it. And listen, my man Big D, of course, he, donning his Don hat again, of course, you know what I'm saying, San Francisco. He's got the new specs, he's got the teeth, he got the hat, he got the glasses now. Y'all see the specs? Look at the eyes, y'all. Look at the eyes. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? D coming through. I got to up my game. Goodness. You know what I'm saying? I got to up my game. But Big D, what's going on with you, bro?
Well, the way he described it, I have new teeth. Okay, so these are my original teeth. First, let's start off with that.
But they're the same teeth from season 1, yeah.
My season 2 teeth.
The season 2 teeth, right.
And I tried to fight as long as I could, but I have to, I went into my 40s with not needing glasses, and then all of a sudden, hey, age happens. So I debuted my glasses last week, but yeah, these aren't just for aesthetics and look. This is actually need glasses. But what a great show we have in store. Listen, as Rod mentioned, there are other games, but there is the game. And the game is 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 on the West Coast. It's the Niners versus the Cowboys. And that's what we've been waiting for. This is, as Jerry Jones said, he kind of alluded to it, but we won't get into that right now. But listen, it's going to be a good show. Buckle up. Without further ado, man, let's get into it. Week five. There, Cowboys versus Niners. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about what team, who's the best in the NFC. And, I thought starting off or going into the season, the way the Cowboys started, the way the Niners started, that they were going to, when we did face off and have our matchup, that we would both be undefeated. Well, that didn't happen. But still, two very, very good teams. Very, very good teams. Very well could be, contending for the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. I think it all matters. I think it's going to boil down to turnovers. And so I give us the advantage turnover-wise because Brock Purdy, to this point, we know we have a decent sample size. He hasn't been in the league as long as Dak, but he doesn't turn the ball over. I don't think he makes decisions that can adversely affect his team. And by the team is, if the offense is not efficient, the defense suffers. And that's the problem. You get into the red zone and you don't score and you put up field goals, that puts your defense in a compromised position. So I think that is based on what Dak has done so far and Dak's track record, I think there will be some turnovers involved. But I will say this, I do think it's going to be a higher scoring game than predicted. I think the over-under is 45. I do see it going over that. No problem. I do think that the Niners are going to put up 30 points. I think they're going to be consistent and they're going to be able to put up 30 points. What I don't like is the spread. The spread it was 3.5, which that hooked people that know that half a point is a killer. Then it got all the way up to 4. So I'm not thrilled about that. But I will say this. Offensively, we're going to put a lot of pressure on the Cowboys to score. Their red zone the fact that they can't score in the red zone is going to hurt them. They're going to have to step up their game because this is the toughest team that they've played so far. And you know, I think honestly speaking, the Cowboys will be the toughest team we've played so far. But I like our chances. What do you say?
Well, I feel like this. I agree with you. This is going to be a tough matchup for both teams. Clearly the best opponent that either team will be facing up to this point in the season. I think for Dallas, they got to be patient offensively. We got to stick to the run. Niners don't give up a lot on the ground. I think it's only, 3.9 yards a carry that they give up in terms of rushing yards. We have to still stay patient because I think the weak link to the 49ers is their secondary, particularly the corner that's opposite of Ward there. We can test him. He's not that great. I think we can definitely get some, between Cooks and Gallup. We can do something there. I'm imagining Ward is going to play on that side as far as with CD. He may follow. Not sure, how y'all going to end up playing your coverage there with Dallas. But I like our the tight ends could, because the thing is this, Fred Warner actually gives up a lot percentage-wise. Teams are very successful throwing against Warner when he's in one-on-one matchups. And our tight ends play very, very well. So I'm really looking for Dallas to take advantage of some of that there. So we have to be patient with the run game so we can get the play action. We might be able to get some things in the intermediary area of the field. Dallas can't be afraid to throw down the field. We got to be able to push the ball, but yet still patient with the run. You're right. We are atrocious in the red zone, but Dallas is going to have to try to find a way to score. We're going to have to. But at the same time, too, take the points if we just get the points. But we're going to need to obviously get 6. But if we can get the 3, we'll take the 3 because, the 49ers are a really good defensive team. Last year, the game was about to go into the halftime 6-6 until Dak throws that crucial interception on the opposite side of the field deep in 49ers territory. So the thing, in Dallas territory, which gave y'all a short field. So the thing for me is I do think that we can get pressure on Purdy. One of the things that people are not talking about, Purdy gets scared like a birdie when there's pressure around him. He's got 4 fumbles this year already. Okay, he lost 1. You get pressure around Purdy, we can get him a little nervous in that pocket. All right, so we definitely coming with the pass rush, especially off that right side. Trent Williams is a lockdown, but we coming on that right side. We're gonna move Parsons around. We're gonna move Sam Williams around. We're gonna get some guys around there. So your right tackle, I think there is some opportunity on that side with him. But you're right. I think this is going to be a game that is going to be really, really good. I think Purdy is going to throw an interception in this game because Dallas plays man-to-man coverage. Purdy's one of the best, if not the best, against man-to-man coverage. But he ain't seen man coverage like this. In fact, I think DaRon Bland actually plays man coverage better than Gilmore. Gilmore clearly has lost a step. He's lost a step. I don't think he's playing as great. But, of course, with the way the defense is playing overall, he's kind of covered in that. So that's my take on that. But, it's going to be a good game. It's about stopping CMC. It's about stopping the run game. It's about keeping y'all neutralized like we did in the playoffs last year. CMC only had 8 carries for 35 yards in that game, and we got to definitely be able to neutralize. Not saying it's going to happen again this year or on Sunday, but we have to be able to neutralize y'all because this is going to be a tough matchup. And last but not least, I agree with Jerry Jones. This is the Super Bowl for us. If we lose this game, it's in our heads forevermore that the Niners own us. The Niners own us. And we will be debilitated, traumatized. We will just be out of it mentally. And honestly, it will be very, very difficult for Dallas to really do anything because what's going to end up happening, if we don't win this game, we're talking wild card. You can play the team like Detroit in the first round. It could get real ugly for Dallas. So we got to win this game. The Niners are the standard. They are the best team in the NFL. They hold the standard. And as far as Dallas is concerned, that's the team. The road goes through Levi Stadium. And I will certainly admit that. But if we win Sunday, we're going to do a show immediately after and for every day of the week. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. But you have to win your division first. We will. You still have a team in your division that's undefeated. There's only 2 undefeated teams left, right? So you have lofty goals of going to the Super Bowl and trying to hint that you're going to try to have, a bye week. You a first round bye. You have to win your division first. So get through the Eagles first. And I understand this is a very important game based off of projections and where we think teams will end up. I granted, but it's not like the Eagles still aren't undefeated. And I'll say this: I think that you think who do you think will be the impact player that makes the difference in the victory? You think that Brock Purdy is going to fold under pressure, even though he has the highest passer rating in the league? He throws in the tight windows. He's like top 5, top 3 in all categories.
No, he's that dude.
But all of a sudden,
Cowboys, I think we can rattle him a little bit. That's the point I'm making. In other words, if we get some pressure he hasn't seen like our pressure before, I think we can get to him a little bit. We can maybe, get around him because he loses the ball when he got a little Daniel Jones-itis in him. You know what I'm saying? So he can fumble. So we can get around him.
Without such pressure, that the Niners obviously can produce, Dak can still fumble and throw interceptions. So my question to you is, who's the player? If you had to put it on the shoulders of one player to make the difference from a victory or L, who would it be for the Cowboys?
If I have to go with one player, then I'm gonna definitely go with Micah Parsons. I just think he can wreck a game like that. That's who I would have to go with.
You're expecting him to have what do you think his stat line is? You think he has
I do think he'll get a sack, and I do think he will create pressure and cause or create sacks and opportunities for others. So I do think in that way he can impact the game indirectly from a statistical standpoint. So I think Micah Parsons, if you had to ask me what one player, now what unit I think will be the difference maker, I still think it's the defense. But one player to make the difference, I think it's going to be Parsons. Whether he's going to get, because he leads the league in pressures, he's getting the pressure, he's coming in there, and he's going to create opportunities for other guys as well. And I do think we can get that pressure in on Purdy, especially if we neutralize the run. It all depends if we can stop the run. We stop the run, now y'all playing into our hands because we want you to throw the ball, because that feeds right into what we do, because that rush is coming. Our secondary is really good, and we think that we can definitely hold your receivers, to a little something.
Okay, but you said Gilmore missed a step, and now all of a sudden Bland is the lockdown corner?
Bland is a very good corner. Bland has 8 picks over the last year and a half, and he had 5 picks last year. And
but you brought in Stephon Gilmore because you thought he wasn't the man.
No, Gilmore is still a very good corner. Now, he's lost a step. He's not the defensive player of the year he was a couple years ago when he was in New England. He's lost a step. He's not that Gilmore anymore, but he's still obviously very good. He's still very good. But I think Bland is more of a ball instinct. Yeah,
they're both torchable. They're both torchable. They both. Let me be clear about it. They're both torchable.
I'm gonna tell you who's torchable. Anthony Brown, who y'all signed. Put that dude on the field. Let him get on the field. I know y'all ain't gonna put him on the cap.
He's
that's all he about to
do.
Now
you want to just
ain't nobody torching us on that secondary. You better stop it, D. Ain't nobody getting torched. To get torched means that you done gave up 10 catches for 145 yards to a dude. That's getting torched.
I like that. 27-17. I like that. I do think we're going to hit 30, though. I do think we're going to get 30.
Right. You ain't been watching Bland. You ain't been watching him, my bro.
Bland is Bland.
Let me
You're
tell you
absolutely
something.
right.
Deron Bland is y'all. All right, you go, because y'all going to definitely test him.
Needs salt. He is not the salt of the earth. Well, I'll say this. There are a few positions that we need to watch. And because me and Rod have gone back and forth with who's the better player, who's the better running back, who's the better quarterback, who's the better defender, I want people to pay attention to CMC and Tony Pollard. I want people to pay attention to CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk. I want people to pay attention. Okay. I want people to pay attention to Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. I want to see what Nick Bosa does, and I want to see what Micah Parsons does. Let's see those impact players. Let's see head-to-head how they can actually impact the game.
Sure, we can measure it.
I like our chances. Yeah. All of those positions, I like our chances.
Yeah.
CMC is definitely better. I think
Not against Dallas, though.
I think Purdy is going to do better than Dak. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to ball out. His numbers are going to show he is a
ball
not
out like
only,
he did last year in the playoffs. About that much. Yeah,
Okay.
D.
We got a W though. You're
Y'all
talking about.
y'all did.
Oh, he was
got
the
a
best.
W.
It was the best player on a losing team. What does it matter?
Right, but yet you're talking about individual players. So what
This
difference
year,
does that make?
we're talking this year. I
But
mean, ultimately,
what I'm saying, those same players you mentioned for this game coming up, they did nothing in the last game that they played individually. Y'all won the game, but individually,
we still won.
They did nothing. Those guys didn't. CMC was on lock. Ayuk lock. Debo lock. Y'all offense. The reason why y'all won that game last year was because of their defense and the two crucial picks Dak threw. And
Now,
we had no Pollard. And we had no Pollard for the whole second half. So we had no running. We only ran the ball one time in the whole second half.
So
we became one-dimensional.
Who was your quarterback last year? I'm just saying if y'all made any acquisitions. Okay, so potentially it could happen again, right?
It could, yes. Oh, yeah, no, it can. It could.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
so
I don't
understand that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. I think? Yeah, go ahead.
And we're still making, deals to get our team better. Like, listen, we got
Randy Gregory and Anthony Brown.
Well, we're not talking about Anthony Brown. Randy Gregory is, for what we're paying him, that is a steal.
Yeah, it is.
Listen, you can scoff at it.
Is he playing on Sunday? Is he playing Sunday?
Nah, probably not. No, he's not going to play.
Okay.
I ain't
worried about
Thank you. I like that. I like that you gave us a thumbs up.
Did I do it? That was America. That FaceTime, the new FaceTime updates on the Mac, and they give you all this stuff.
Perfect.
Randy Gregory, trash. Don't worry, I'm gonna find the right emoji to put up there, and
he's trash.
I can't find. Randy Gregory is trash. He ain't a Cowboy no more, so he trash, and he missed 54 games over the 8 years that he played. He only had 19 sacks over the 8 years he was with Dallas. Because he can't stay healthy and he can't stay out of trouble. Now, I'm not presuming that on him.
Lucky for us, he's just for depth. He's not somebody that we do anticipate him being an impact player and adding to our already stout defense, but it's not somebody that we're banking on like, oh, this person's going to come and save the day. But to pay him only $800,000 for the potential talent, that's active. And we still got 11 picks in the draft next year. We got him for a 6th and a 7th round pick. Nothing.
It was more dumb for Denver, if anything. But yeah.
Denver is borderline fire sale. Soon. If they continue and they can't get a W, they're going to be in a world of hurt. But let's quickly get a score. We got Scraps, score 27-17. I do like that, although there is always a Vegas element involved in this. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna maybe impact the outcome of the game, but I do think that the 3.5 to 4 points is something that is really doesn't sit well with me at all. But I like the Niners 30-27.
All right, so let me say this to y'all, and I said this before, and I don't know if D will admit to this, but I'm not, but despite what y'all hear or see, okay, I am a rational Cowboy fan, okay? I'm not one of these, delusional fans. I'm not Super Bowl every year. Nah, like you hear me say, 49ers are the best team in the league. If I'm going based on just analytics of what we talk about with sports and being reasonable within our takes and different things like that, okay? The 49ers, actually, if I had to pick a team to win this game, or if I was a betting person, I would pick the 49ers to win this game. I would actually go on record to say the score to this game will be 23-19. That's my pick, 49ers. However, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I want Dallas to win the game. And I believe Dallas can win this game, okay? But if I'm going to just go with a pick that is reasonable, if somebody asks me who you think is going to win, I do think the 49ers are still a better team than we are. So they are expected to win, and I expect the 49ers to win. But I am, of course, wanting my Cowboys to win this game, and I think we can win this game. So my pick is 23-19 Niners, but I won't be surprised or shocked if Dallas wins. So I want y'all to hear me, America, from the position of being a rational sports person who's talking sports. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the whole thing. Truth, what you talking about?
He says Dallas is going to win. Really?
Saying, y'all going to start acting like we not who we are. I thought you talking about his Eagles. Oh, he's got Dallas winning? No, he said 27-17 Niners.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Late TV
I like
by
it.
Dallas. Oh, okay. Okay.
No. He has Dallas.
Oh, he still got the Niners. Okay, he still got the Niners winning. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be that many. Yeah, that many points. But yeah. But that's how I'm always going to be, objective when it comes to picks. But when it comes to my heart, it's Dallas all the way. And I do think Dallas can win this game. But the 49ers should win because they are the better team. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all right, Truth. We're going to see y'all soon, though. We got to have Truth on the show before that Eagle game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I'll say this. He always, I try to tell him, Scrap, Rod is talking about, because he's looking towards meeting us in the NFC Championship game. But I said, you got a team that's undefeated.
We're not afraid of the Eagles like y'all are. You see, the rest of y'all are afraid of the Eagles.
We're not.
You should, and you shouldn't be, because y'all would have beat them in a championship game if Purdy didn't get hurt. I definitely agree with that.
His arm,
yeah.
If they didn't ring his arm and his arm was just flopping around, and we had Jack Johnson come in, everybody was concussing themselves to be out of the game, we would have won that game.
Yeah, no,
you can't, and you can't tell me any different. Perhaps, and even if we lost the game, I'm going to be realistic, because they were a great team. They were steamrolling teams. Even if we lost that game, we wouldn't have lost like that. When you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got nothing.
You got nothing. You got no quarterback.
And they were talking. I mean, it was just it was such a frustrating thing. It was such a frustrating thing. But such is life. Let's talk about the Ravens versus the Steelers. How about this? Odell Beckham has been a disappointment. He got that paper, and I think he kind of helped the Lamar Jackson deal happen, because, I think they might have dangled Odell Beckham signing for Lamar Jackson, that they were serious about getting him some help. But let's be honest, Odell Beckham has been a disappointment. He's been injured with an ankle injury 2 weeks in a row. I think there's talk that he's supposed to play this Sunday. But not impressed at all. Now, the Ravens have still been playing really good. Considering, I mean, they can't keep a running back. Every running back is either they're either ACL, they're concussed. It's just, so that's their issue. That's their issue. They always need running backs. They play the Steelers. I thought the Steelers were going to actually look good. I mean, they escaped. Kenny Pickett almost had a really bad knee injury, but there's talk that he's playing. Mitchell Trubisky mouth was watering, thought that he was going to get in, and they sat him down. And let me just say this one thing before we go. I get your take on it. I don't like what they're doing with Jameis Winston. You rolled out, and this is with the Saints, they rolled out a hurt Carr before they would roll out a healthy Jameis Winston. But they re-signed him. It's time for Jameis Winston to go elsewhere, because does Carr have to lose an arm before they put him in? If he has a AC joint or something with his shoulder, why not rest him a week? Let Jameis Winston get in. I know you're paying Carr the money, but why not do what's in the best interests of the team? That's just a sidebar. But what do you say about the Ravens Steelers?
I think the Ravens Steelers, the Ravens are still playing well. Like you said, Odell Beckham has been a disappointment. But, Odell, I didn't expect Odell to have a breakout year. I don't think the offense is really set up like that. At the end of the day, you still see Jackson running wild. And that's what they're going to live and die by, his legs, when it's all said and done. And it's not that obviously Jackson is not an accurate quarterback or can't make the throws, because he can, but again, that's a proclivity that he tends to lean on, and the offense is going to lean on that. That's their bread and butter when it's all said and done. And that's how the Ravens have been very successful. And they're scoring. They're one of the best red zone teams in the league. They're doing very well there. Their defense is playing really good. So at the end of the day, to me, this is not, obviously this is a rivalry we know of, but the Steelers are not that anymore. They're dead last, and a lot of statistics offensively. Kenny Pickett is not that dude. I'm sorry, he's not that dude. And shame on Mike Tomlin and them for not working around or doing something to get a better quarterback. I don't care what he did in preseason. Preseason is you're playing against backups, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're playing against guys that are not A1. Even the starters that play in the game are not even, they're going to go 100% to avoid injury, but that's not what I would say a legit measuring stick or measurable to determine how well a player is going to play when it comes to the preseason. Okay. So anyway, to me, it's really bad. Their offensive coordinator, he's going to have to come up with something. Matt Canada, I don't know what he's doing. He might be on the chopping block there. It's really, really bad. And they got a really good receiver there, in their boy, what's his name? The other dude, Pickens.
George
Pickens.
Pickens.
George Pickens. And even
Deontay
him,
Johnson, he's only got hamstring injury. Najee Harris has been a disappointment.
Yeah, Harris has not played well at all. He's playing well at all. And again, going back to Pickens, he's only got 16 receptions through 4 games. That's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's been bad. And they've had some bad. They played, obviously good teams. They played you guys to open it up. But at the end of the day, the loss to the Texans was a bad loss. And the Texans are not the Texans of old, if you will, right? We see that they are a really good team. But the truth of the matter
coach.
is,
Where'd he come from?
I mean, he's okay. He's okay. We'll see. No, I like him in Texans, right? I don't, whatever he did with the 49ers, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but at the end of the day, I like the Ravens in this game here. The Steelers, they're just not it. Pickens is not the answer. So, and then the other point with Jameis Winston, I feel Winston has to just be corralled. I mean, he needs. I don't know what it is with him. He's a talented quarterback. But I don't know. I think when he came in last week, didn't he just throw a pick his first pass or something like that? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a feel-good story because he played at I think Pittsburgh. I think he played at Pittsburgh College. I think that's what college he was.
I thought he was in Florida. Wasn't he in Florida, James?
No. He was a local kid.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He went to Pittsburgh.
Jameis Winston. Yeah. Okay.
Jameis Winston?
No.
Who you talking about? Kenny Pickett.
No, I went back to your point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
going back to your point in New Orleans. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He was a turnover machine in Tampa Bay. He threw 30 touchdowns and 31 interceptions. So
right.
And then they got Tom Brady one, and But I think Jameis Winston with those receivers, you got Chris Olave, you got Michael Thomas. I think that's his name. Yeah. Air it out. If your quarterback is hurting, just give him the time. Look at what the Bengals are going through. Had they given Joe Burrow extra time. Now this every game, because that division is so tough, is a must win. And they still haven't hit the toughest part of their schedule. They still have to play us. I think they still have to play division games.
Division games coming.
It's gonna be tough for them. So they should have. I say all that to say New Orleans lost the game they didn't have to lose, and it's those kind of bonehead decisions that there was talk because their defense was so good that they could be a contender, but I doubt it now because those losses where you're supposed to win, you gotta really put your foot down and win. But I'll say this real quick. Shout out to Scrap. Happy belated birthday. Beautiful tribute to our friend Eric. RIP to Eric. Oh, man. What a great dude.
Lost. Wow.
But happy belated birthday, Libra, my brother. And so, I say all that to say, I do think the Steelers will get it together. I think they'll ultimately win because that's how the division is. They beat up on each other. They may look good at one team, and then the Eagles, I'm I'm saying the Eagles. The Steelers got smoked last week, and the Ravens look pretty good. But when they play each other, the Steelers will, beat the Ravens. So I don't know what the score will be. I think the spread is 4.5, but I do like the Steelers to get back to their winning ways. And it'll probably be a field goal game. It's always one of those things. But Lamar Jackson historically doesn't play good against the Steelers. And when Mike Tomlin's team is a underdog, they do really well. They're not good with success. When you expect them to blow a team out,
right,
they get torched. But when they're up against it, except when they played us. When they played us, they were underdog, and we underdogged them. But I think they're going to be in a good position. They're going to be in a good position to win. What do you say?
I still think I'm still going with the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're asking, you know what I mean? I mean, the Ravens are still going to win this game.
Okay.
I agree with you with the Steelers. Yeah, they whole underdog situation, but no, I don't think Pickens, he's not it. He's just not it. There's nothing there with him. Nothing. He's better off. You need, that's it. Bench him, find something else. He'll be a serviceable quarterback maybe one day as he progresses in his career, but he's not it. Not in that division. You need a quarterback in that division. Everybody has a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback, so it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, so let's get a score. What do you what score do you have?
I actually think that the defense is being a little debilitated, even though they're 2-2, but still the Steelers, that is. But I like 31, 31-10.
31-10.
31-10. The offense is trash.
No way possible.
31-10. All right, you'll see.
There will be no 31 points on the Steelers. There will be no 31.
Because I'm gonna tell you what a good defense.
30 points, but there won't be within the Ravens. And no,
Ravens will do that. I'm gonna tell you. All right, you're gonna see, because the people keep thinking. This is why I would say with Dallas, if Dallas don't score points, that defense at some point is going to falter, because you can't have a really good defense and not have an offense that can score or move the ball. They can't. They're last in first. They're last in the league in first downs. You can't even get a first. Forget scoring. Can we just get some first downs? Can't even get that. So no, they're done. It's a wrap. 31-10. Until they get a quarterback, they're done. Pickens is not it. So that's it. 31-10 Ravens.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. You have Ravens winning. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. And that's going to be 21-13. We are way off. Total opposites.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about we got Scrap's ridiculous score for the Eagles.
Ridiculous score. That's a ridiculous.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Eagles. We have way to lead us into the next topic. We're going to talk about the Eagles and Rams. Puka Nacua has been balling out. He's a rookie. He's balling out. The stage hasn't been too big for him. I mean, he set all types of receiving records. And so you have Cooper Kupp coming back. So the Rams, with Cooper Kupp being out, being on IR, missing the first 4 weeks, everybody said, okay, well, the Rams is probably just going to pack it in. Sean McVay was acting like he didn't know if he wanted to, continue coaching or go up to the broadcaster's booth. You had Aaron Donald talking about retirement. You had the quarterback not knowing the receivers' names. So it's like, okay, this team is pretty much packing it in. But then you have Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua show up.
Yeah.
And you got Kyren Williams, a running back that got rid of Cam Akers, who was supposed to be the man. They got Kyren Williams going, and they started to ball out. Kyren Williams, if you have a fantasy team, is what they call a fantasy darling. Now, I don't like using those terms when it comes to guys and running backs, but that's what they would call it. He's a fantasy darling. Someone that wasn't drafted high, but yet is an impact player, is actually balling out. So you now have that team that gets their star player back, Cooper Kupp. So now you gotta, of course, they have Tyler Higbee, the tight end. So they have a good team.
Yeah.
The defense has been playing pretty decent. They've been playing actually better than advertised. You get this team together and you have, they're coming up against the Eagles, who have not, they're 4-0, but they're not an impressive 4-0. Sorry, Scrap, they're not. They have played maybe down to the competition games. I mean, look what Chicago did to the Commanders. And you guys, did you guys go into overtime with the Commanders?
Yeah, they did.
You went to the overtime with the Commanders. I mean, you
blown out.
W is a W, but they got blown out by Chicago
at home.
At home. So I say all that to say, I think the 35-9 is definitely disrespectful. That push ain't gonna work with them. It may work. It's kind of a play that you really can't defend against, because the line, you would have to almost lay on your belly to get up under it. The best 4-0 is the best we can be. Yeah, but it's how you win. And me and Ryan go back and forth about style points, and this is not college running up the score, but you can look good winning, look, like the Niners look, and you can look like you're just getting by. What do you say, Rod?
No, I agree with you there. I think the thing for me in this game, and I do have the Eagles winning this game, but it's going to be tough. I think it's in the line. I think even though you got Donald there, who's a beast, but Donald's kind of lost a step a little bit too. Their front line defensively, I don't know if they can match up with the Eagles' offensive line. One that I will say, the Eagles do have a very good offensive line. So their line is where I think they'll get the Eagles. That is, they'll have the advantage there, running the ball. Swift is playing really good. You still got Hurts, who can run the ball. So, I mean, because he's better than Sanders was last year. Swift, that is, in my opinion. I didn't think Sanders was much, But the reality is that I think it's their it's their offense, meaning the Eagles, I think will overcome what the Rams can present defensively. The thing is, on the flip side, though, why I do think it'll still be a game, and it's not going to be a blowout or anything like that. And I do think, again, because like the 49ers, I think the Eagles, their weakness is their secondary. Those guys are not that great. You know what I'm saying? You can throw on them. And I think, and Stafford can throw the ball. You already mentioned, indeed, you covered it, talking about Atwell, Nakua, these guys, and you got Captain Crunch coming back, right? But I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know how effective he'll be in his first game back. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know how effective he'll be in this game coming back today. On Sunday. But, nevertheless, he'll be out there, right? And so it's just good to get all the complementary players back, and that's what you want, right? You got to feel good. Just mentally, it's a good thing to say, man, now we got a complementary receivers. Coop has been good, obviously all-pro receiver. He's back. So just having him lining up is a good thing in itself. So, but they will be able to throw the ball, and I think the game is going to be a good game. I do see the Eagles winning the game, but it's not going to be easy, and I do agree with you, D. In truth, if you're honest, you will have to say the Eagles have not – Bradbury's out of position as he we got a nickel corner. He's playing out of position. We got a nickel corner now. Bradbury goes back to the outside. Okay, well then maybe that's something there too. And Bradbury he's a good corner. He's a good corner. I'm not taking nothing away from him. So maybe getting in that, because something's been not working in that secondary. You know what I'm saying? But even last year, I felt that was always still the weak point there with the Eagles. But the thing to me is that you're going to have a good game. But truth, if you're honest, the Eagles, to Donald's point, I will agree that they haven't been looking great. And everybody's going to say, well, they didn't have a preseason. Well, we're 4 games in now, right? Going into the 5th season. These guys have been winning. They've been playing ball. They should look a little bit better. The Eagles is just not dominating like they did last year. And I think that's what people are looking at as well. But there's still some things you can still see that they need to still, get up. And y'all going to need to get the ball back to your boy. You know what I'm trying to say? Your receiver there, the dude from Tennessee. Why am I drawing a blank? I'm drawing a blank there. The top receiver over there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Brown.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah.
And now that Brown, and I think this is something also. Jalen Hurts, and this is what I think is going to ultimately hurt you guys. Hurts you guys down the line. Jalen Hurts now has to force feed AJ Brown. And I think because Devontae Smith is open a lot of times, but look they looked really good. He had ridiculous numbers last week. That's Brown did. But ever since that argument on the sideline, it seems like Jalen Hurts is going out of his way to make sure that Brown is getting upwards of 10 targets. And that's not conducive to winning, right? Because if you look, and I hate to bring it back to us, but I will for a second. Debo, arguably, 2 years ago, the type of season that he had, you would think, without question, he is the number one receiver. But when an offense pretty much flows and utilizes and takes full advantage of what's available, and let's just say Brandon Ayuk is the person that just gets open. He finds a way to get open.
Yeah.
You don't see Debo on the sideline. Maybe he behind the scenes, maybe in the locker room, maybe he's talking to the coaches like, yo, get me the ball, but he's flowing within the offense. So if Brandon Ayuk last week or the week before, Debo they didn't throw a pass to him. He had a few running, they had a few running plays, but Brandon Ayuk had like $129.
Right.
He got a W though.
Yeah, he did. He
So
did. Yeah, he balled out.
That Brown was arguing, Devontae was eating, and here he is talking to him. And let's be clear, Brown has dropped the ball a lot. Devontae's hands are better than Brown's. So I think in the flow of the game, if a team is winning and you're hitting, like let's just say they're focusing on Brown and Devontae has to, then why force feed it? Why force it into him? I think whenever offense gets like that, where they have tunnel vision and the quarterback feels pressured to hit and keep feeding their number one receiver, I think that's where the problem comes in. But that was just a side note.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think Devontae gets open because he's fast, because he can take the top off. I think Jalen Hurts, it now feels more pressured to give Brown the ball than he did normally after that kind of sideline blow up and flare.
What True say when we blow them out, y'all, what did he say? Y'all want to say sorry? Well, yeah,
it will not be a blowout.
It won't be a blowout.
You guys may win, but it won't be a blowout.
It won't be a blowout, but I do think, and they got to get the ball out quick because that front line on the defensive front line with the Eagles is good too. You know, Jaylen Brown and them boys is they coming. That front line is good. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to see. I mean, not Jaylen Brown, Jalen Carter. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's just a Georgia team. Their pipeline is Georgia.
Yeah, that's
everybody Georgia. So let's get a score because I do think it's going to be a competitive game, and I like potentially an upset. I think the Eagles are on upset alert. Because if you think about you think about the way the Rams have been playing, they have been playing above expectation, and the Eagles, based on how dominant they were last year, they've been playing below expectation. So, listen, the potential for an upset is there. I do think the Eagles will ultimately win, but 35-9? No, not at all. No, not at all. That's disrespectful to the NFC West as a whole. No. We don't even Arizona's putting up points, right, Rod?
D, pick the
score already, will you? Pick a.
You know what I'm saying, True, just be ready because D like to slide. You probably already know this already, so you know.
Man. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Eagles 30, Rams 27.
Okay. I'm going Eagles 33, Rams 23. But the score, that game is going to be a little close. The Eagles are going to need a late TD to kind of get some separation there because the game will be a little.
What was your score? I'm sorry.
33-23.
33-23. Okay, cool. Last but not least, let's talk about Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor was on that group. The running back has been devalued over the last couple of years, right?
Sure.
Every other position has increased, quarterbacks exponentially, all of the wide receivers, CMC is the highest paid running back, but rightfully so. But
Right.
every other running back has been just pretty much the value has been diminished.
Correct.
JT was on that call. He was on a Zoom with, Saquon Barkley and who else? Austin Eckler and Henry. Everybody.
Yeah, Henry.
Everybody that was on that Zoom.
Yeah.
That was the Zoom of doom. Everybody that was on there. I mean, listen, as soon as they stepped on the field, they had banana peels. I mean, people were getting hurt almost immediately. So it didn't help the case for the value of the running back.
Right.
And I think that JT, they put him on the PUP list, and then they put him on, IR, so he couldn't play the first 4 weeks.
Right.
Well, now JT has a new, a fresh look on life and a new attitude. He's like, yo, listen, I always wanted to just be healthy to play. He's looking to play this week, potentially.
Right.
After the layoff, he says he's 100% healthy. And the Colts have been playing pretty good. I mean, Richardson has been playing well. Zach Moss, who I have on my fantasy team, unfortunately, he's going to now be an afterthought once JT gets fully up to speed. I think there were a lot of teams that were interested in him. Miami, I think the Bills. There were more than a few teams that were interested in JT because he is such a dynamic running back, strong, fast. He has it all. Good hands out of the backfield. Yep. So he's supposed to come back, but is he coming back? This is my opinion, and let me ask you: does it seem like he's coming back hat in hand, or is this the right move for him? What do you say?
No, I think it's the right move. I look, it only gets worse when the running back, and in this case with JT, as great as a player as he is, it only gets worse. Because what happens is, and even though their running back right now hasn't been it's not the greatest, right? He's not lighting the world on fire. And but the reality is that, guys will step up. And when they step up, they start playing good. And if you're winning, because here's the thing, if the Colts are winning games, JT, no matter how good you are, you're going to be an afterthought after a while. You know what I mean? It's only when you're losing games, morale is bad, locker room is fractured. It's got to be a lot of other ancillary conditions going on for one player to make that difference for the management to say, okay, we got to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? We'll sign him. We'll try to work out whatever we can work out, right? But look at that. Like you just talked about all the injuries there. Look at Saquon. He was out a couple, and even before he went down, he didn't even look that good, right? And so it's like you got to come back and play, right? Play the game because you love the game. It's not like the guy's broke, he's homeless, ain't like he got no money, right? Mm-hmm. And then he'll get money, he'll get a contract, right? He'll get something, and then it's not going to be what he and these other running backs thought they were going to get, right? But we'll see. Like the only guy that may stand a chance right now to maybe getting a good contract to renegotiate and to get an extension of some kind, or they'll sign him to another term, maybe is Derrick Henry. And even still, you gotta wonder, right? They may only give him a something on a 2-year guarantee. And you know what? If it comes down to where it's a battle, they're not gonna pay him. And I really think the ownership has really buckled down on that. I think there's a consensus among the owners, and they're just not going to pay a lot for a running back, no matter how good the running back is, and that's why I say kudos to Zeke. He got his money when he got it. No fault of his. You want to see a player get their money, Zeke got his, and he got his money 2 years before his rookie deal was to expire. So, he did it. Dallas was foolish enough to pay him, and that's it. And that just ruined everything, really, to me, in my opinion, at least one of the factors there. So to your question, I think he's doing a good thing. I don't think he's coming back hat in hand per se. I mean, he wants to play. He loves the game of football. He wants to play. I think he's really genuine in that. You know what I mean? And so he can do nothing but help the team, especially a young quarterback like Richardson, who also can run as well. So you're going to have a nice dynamic there in the backfield, with some read and pulls and different things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a good thing. I think him coming back is going to help, and he'll get his money at some point, whatever it's going to be, but it's definitely not going to be what he was trying to hold out for, regardless of how well he plays. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll get a couple of more, he get a couple little bump. He might get a bump in something, D, but I don't think he's ever going to get, and normally any of these running backs get anything that they were supposed to get. And what breaks my heart is when I look at Chubb from Cleveland, man.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
losing, that was a heartbreaker there because he's definitely not going to get the money he was going to get. That second contract is not going to be it for him. So, you know, so it's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm glad that you know, JT is back. I do have him on my fantasy team. I picked him up in hopes that maybe he got traded to Miami or somebody. And so now to have him back is, you know, I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah. Before we close out, we'll talk about this more on our next show, but do you have a World Series prediction? Who wins the World Series? We got Rangers, Orioles, Twins, Astros, Phillies, Braves, Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers. It all kicks off today. So, any of those teams you care for?
You know what? Because my Yankees are not in it, so I really don't have too much of a horse in the race, if you will. I'm just going to kind of go off some issues I've had with teams back in the day when I really followed baseball. So out of all the teams, it's not a team that I hate. I do hate the Astros. I want them to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want the Astros to lose. Oh my God, I want that team to
cheaters.
lose. Yeah. They're cheaters.
But they always find their way. Cheaters. They always find their way in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah.
They have a good collection of cheaters. It's a good team.
Right.
They a collaborative collection of cheaters that they happen to be good.
Right. I agree. I'm gonna go with the Braves, man. Atlanta needs something out here. They just, and the Braves don't bother me. They're fans, they don't get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Falcon fans they could be a nuisance. They can annoy you. You know what I mean? And so, in Georgia, Georgia, people love their Bulldogs out here, of course. You know what I'm saying? 2-time defending champion, so they're good. So let Atlanta have a little more love there. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. The Braves are quiet.
I think Scrap doesn't agree with that. He thinks the Phillies are going to upset the Braves.
He's a Philly guy. Is Scrap from Philly? Is he from Philly? Oh, is he? Okay. All right. So he's a homer there. Okay. All right. So yeah.
How'd Philly do last year? Okay. How'd the Eagles do last year? Okay. So yeah, Philly doesn't do well in the big game. They can get there, but
yeah. What are they? 1-3? Wait, 1-3 the Super Bowl, right? Because y'all lost to the Raiders back in '80, I think it was, and then they lost they lost last year, and then of course they won.
They beat the Patriots, right?
And they beat the Patriots, yeah. So they won it, 1-2 rather.
If I got to pick a team, I think I'm gonna go. It's close between the Orioles and the Dodgers, but I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. The Dodgers, Okay. I think the Dodgers have a good team. So I'm gonna go with
Dodgers, Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
that's what we need to talk about too.
You guys went there, but what did y'all do? Y'all went there.
Yeah, getting there doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get there, but
not title town. You guys aren't title town. Now, had both teams won? And let's not talk about the 76ers, but we're gonna get into that. Joel Embiid says he's going
we got to talk some basketball in the next one.
Play in the Olympics. Joel Embiid, try to get through the regular season without having. Okay, nice.
Yeah, that was
cool.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it happened. It happened. But time will tell. Listen. The exciting thing is all of our teams will see each other.
Yep.
In the playoffs and in the regular season, which is
y'all played them this year too, right? You got the Eagles on your calendar.
Week 13, we played them.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
We'll still be undefeated.
Anyway, America.
But listen, great show, Rod. Scrap, thanks for joining us. Let's see who did
make past the credits.
Oh
man,
I'm a Nets fan. I'm a Nets fan. Yeah. And quietly, we're doing some big things. Ben Simmons is going to be back in a major way. But our next show, we're going to really delve into not necessarily football. We're going to still talk football. We're going to talk, some baseball. First game
we'll talk some baseball.
We'll be in the books. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then once the NBA season starts, which is soon, I think a week away. Then we're gonna talk about our teams. But once again, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. Shout outs to Kingdom Creative for the production.
Yes.
Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Scrap, thanks for joining us. We definitely
you, brother.
We need to
Appreciate
get you visually on the show.
Yeah, we need you, bro.
Definitely. Once again, thank you for joining us. We love the comments. Please, until next time. Peace.
Peace.